Welcome back to another episode of Marcel Hyde Mindset. Make sure you guys click that like button, subscribe to the channel. And I know you guys are finding a lot of value from the episodes that I produce. I've been on this content journey for 3 years now, and I must say, I'm having a lot of fun. My purpose in this life, and the more I try to figure out what I should be doing, I have figured out one thing: move towards the things that you enjoy doing. Move towards the things that you love to do. And, you could do these things and not get paid for it. Because a lot of times, people are like, oh, I'm super passionate about something, but it doesn't pay, so I'm not going to do it. But if you genuinely are passionate about it, even if you're not getting paid for it, you're going to want to do it. Just like me filming these podcasts, filming these episodes, I'm not getting paid from it, but I just love it. There's something that it does for my spirit, my soul. It brings me life. It brings me meaning, right? So for me, it's just like, I feel like I have to do it, right? It's become second nature for me. And, for me, I've been doing it for 3 years, and I feel like it's my life's purpose to really jump on podcasts, to have conversations with people, to share messages to people, to help people become a better version of themselves. And I want to preface that by saying I'm on my own journey of becoming a better human being, becoming a better person. I don't want to act like I'm here and I have everything figured out and I'm here and my life is perfect. No, there's a lot of things in my life that I still need to improve on. And it's day to day. Every day I'm getting better. Every day I'm evolving. Every day I'm becoming a better version of myself. And every day I'm wanting more and trying to become more. So you should be doing the same thing as well too. And I know sometimes on this journey, it could be a little bit discouraging because I know a lot of times, on this journey, it could be discouraging because maybe you're putting in a lot of work and you're not seeing any results, or maybe you're putting in a lot of work and you're not where you want to be. But you have to understand that's all part of the process, right? That's all part of the journey that you must go through, the journey that you're going to have to walk on to essentially get yourself to where you want to be. And I'm always preaching this and I'm always saying it, right? There's so much power in the tongue, so much power in the words that you speak. If I say I'm going to be able to make something happen, I'm going to believe it, and then I'm going to take action steps to make this happen. But if I don't believe that this can happen, I'll just give up. It's just like the podcasting journey, my podcasting journey that I'm on. If I believe that I can be, let's just say a top 10 podcast host in North America, then I'm going to continue to go. I'm going to continue to interview guests. I'm going to continue to work on my skills. I'm going to continue to find ways to get better and improve. But if I didn't believe that, then I probably wouldn't even start. Or if I didn't believe that, I probably would just quit and give up, or I would just not be doing this at all. But I strongly believe in my heart I can become a top 10 podcast host. Not to compare myself to anybody out there, but I, hear people who are doing well in the podcast game, and I'm like, you know what? I feel like, I'm a little bit more entertaining than them, or I feel like I would be able to connect better with the guests. So why can't I be in that position? Why can't I be there? Obviously there's some luck that is involved with that as well too, but there's also work too. And who knows, right? I could get lucky, right? Somebody likes me, I interview someone, I could go viral. So I'm willing to take that risk. I'm willing to take that chance. And a lot of times people don't want to take that risk. They don't want to take that chance because they don't believe in themselves, right? I believe in myself. I believe that, I can be traveling the world and speaking on different platforms and interviewing different people. I strongly believe that in my heart. So I'm following that. I'm following what my heart is telling me. I'm following what my spirit is guiding me to and directing me to. I'm doing the work as well too. I'm reading books daily. I'm listening to podcasts. I'm finding opportunities to meet with mentors. All these episodes that I interview people, I learned from, these guests. So that's a way to level up myself as well too. So I know that it's a journey and I'm just enjoying the journey each and every day. Whatever life throws at me, I'm willing to deal with it. Have I been in situations where I didn't like? Of course, who hasn't? There's lots of times when I was at a job, I'm like, you know what? I don't like this, but I suck it up. I did it anyways. And I knew that this was only a stop on the road, right? When you're taking a long trip, when you're traveling, and I told this story to a coworker of mine because she was not liking the job that she was in. And I said, when you're on your journey, let's say you're going to a destination, let's say you drive from Toronto to Florida, maybe you might make a pit stop somewhere to, fuel your gas, grab food, whatever the case may be. But not all pit stops are the same. Some could be run down. Some could be not have the things that you want. So I just said, this is just a pit stop where you refuel, maybe reevaluate your life, look at some things. Once you have everything you need, you continue moving, right? This isn't your destination. This isn't the end. This is where you want to be or where you're going. But along the way to going to where you want to get to, there are stops that you are going to have to make. And sometimes these stops aren't the dream or paradise, and it's not as pleasant as your paradise or your dream. So just remembering that in your mind, if you could look at the situation a little bit differently, because I always try to, change the way you look at things, and the way you look at things change. I always try to, reframe my thinking and, how I'm looking at a situation, because it's easy to be in a situation and be like, this situation sucks, it's terrible, and then you start feeling depressed and you start getting anxiety and you start feeling down, right? And you don't want to feel like that in that state, because that's actually operating from a lower vibrational state. And if you're trying to manifest anything, you can't manifest good things at that level. You can only manifest low frequency, low vibrational things at that level. So you have to raise your vibration. And the way you raise your vibration and then these negative environments is, or places you don't want to be, it starts with your thinking, right? Like, I don't want to be here right now, and everybody knows that, and it's obvious. Well, it won't be obvious because I don't show that I don't want to be here, but I know this is not my end, and I keep that in my mind. And while I'm in that situation, I'm also working towards getting myself in a better situation. And it's like, another example you can use is like, you're living in a rooming house, right? And you hate it, but it's a house. At the end of the day, you have a house. You have somewhere to lay your head. If you go to any major city and you go to the downtown core, you'll see people the night before slept outside, right? So you have to look at it from a frame of gratitude and a different perspective, a different frame. But if you're in a rooming house, you can advance to a studio maybe, and then from a studio you can get a bedroom apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment, then from there you get a house, right? So it's a progression. But just knowing that this isn't the end for you, this is a stop during the road. You got to learn what you have to learn. You have to grow as a person. And once you get all that kind of together, then at that point, that's when you're going to want to elevate, right? But until you have yourself together, until you have your stuff together, until you've refueled yourself, you're not going to get to that next stage or the next level. So just staying patient, remembering that nothing happens overnight. All the people that you love and adore and, you see on TV or you see are gone viral, all those people have, gone through their own journey, and they had a lot of ups and downs, and no matter what, they continued to move forward, whether it was a bad situation they were dealing with or a good situation they're dealing with. And that's essentially what life is all about, is, going through hard times and recognizing certain things in those hard times and learning from those hard times, and then moving on and moving forward. I'm not here to be some guru. I'm not here to be some magical or mystical being, but this is stuff that, has helped me, and I share with my audience because I believe that this is stuff that can help you as well too. I wouldn't share anything that I didn't, experience myself, or I wouldn't share anything that I've learned from somebody else, because you can also learn from other people. Sometimes we think that we just have to learn from our own experiences, and that's not the case. You can also learn from other people's experiences too. Not only your own experiences, but also learn from other people's experiences. All right. So remember, guys, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, comment. And if you're finding value from these videos, I'd love to hear some of your stories. I'd love to hear if, any of my content has touched you, has inspired you, has motivated you, whatever it's done for you. I want to hear it. So comment, just give me some feedback. And if you have feedback for me, what are some ways that you think that I can grow, that I can get better at this game? So I'm on year 3 and I'm having so much fun. I haven't stopped. I have no desire to stop. Do I have my days where I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Of course, everyone does, but we don't stop. We continue going. I want to be able to stay focused because there's so many distractions in life, right? And this actually trains you to be focused on single-minded focus. And if you're not training it, how do you get single-minded focus? So I go to a open space where people are screaming, yelling, talking, and I film, right? You'll see me looking around just because you always have to watch your surroundings as well, too, especially I'm in a major city. So I always watch. I don't get too comfortable because I'm outside, but just watch what's around me. But it's a challenge, right? I challenge you, if you're a content creator, go outside, film your content, and try to stay focused on, what you're trying to say. Marcel, Hyde Mindset. Peace and love. Mindset is everything.